Hello, Jesse. My name is Sheree Rodriguez, and I will be conducting your session today. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay. Just a quick couple of things I need to mention to you. I am recording this, and it will most likely be shared with my teacher and a couple of classmates. And everything you say is kept confidential unless you feel like you want to hurt yourself or others. And then I would have to report that. Um, how are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Right, what brings you here?
Last week, my wife and I got into an argument,
Hmm.
and it was just one of those days. Like I come home from work and I'm tired, and I see her just sitting there, not watching the kids, and the kids are just making a mess, and I have to pick up after them, and it's just day in, day out, and it's not just that. It's just if I get angry a lot. And I think and I understand people can get upset about things and they have a right to be upset thing, but I have a very short temper.
Hmm.
Very short.
Hmm.
Like it shouldn't have bothered me that the kids were just playing around because they were still playing, but I got after them because the room was a mess. I got after her for not watching the kids, even though she was doing her own thing that she needed to do. I get it got to the point where it almost got to where I had a not even I won't say physical altercation because it didn't get to that level, but I don't want it to get to that level.
Hmm. Right. So you went home after work and you found your home messy. The kids were running around playing. Your wife was doing her own thing, as you say, and you became upset. And just looking at the way that you're reacting right now, you seem like you're very agitated.
I am because I'm thinking about it and it's getting me
Mm-hmm.
so upset
Mm-hmm.
that I get short with them. I mean, it's a 3-year-old and an 11-year-old. The 11-year-old should know what she's doing, but she doesn't act like she knows what she's doing, even
Mm-hmm.
though she has straight A's at school. But yeah, she gives me that ooh letter, that ooh expression. And I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to, it hasn't got to that part, and I don't know how to control it.
Right. So, in these type of situations, when you find yourself getting angry, getting upset over what you see as is should be done, what do you do?
I yell at them.
You yell at them. And when you're yelling at them, is it in a when you're yelling at them, how do you feel afterwards?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like crap in the end because after I yell at them, which I'm thinking I'm being stern with them, she gets in the conversation. Then she starts yelling with me. Then I start yelling at her. She points out these straight A facts at me, and I don't know how to rebuttal that. And the only way I can is by throwing it back at her, and just blowing up in her face. And then after there's like a cool off period, if there's one, I then see what I've done or look at what happened, and I try to apologize. And it feels like I do it more and more often.
And who is she that you're
My
referring to?
my significant other.
Okay. And when these occur, what's usually going on in around your environment? Besides, is it always just a messy house that you come home to, or
Well, lots of things. A stressful day at work. Um, uh, I have a kid who has special needs that needs constant attention, and I have a like I said, I have a daughter who's a genius but doesn't know how to take care of herself, and my significant other is pursuing other things that academically would help improvise her financial situation. Um, but it's just it feels like I'm stuck in the role of just picking up and being a babysitter to everybody, and it just I don't want that,
Mhm.
and I get angry with him, even with the little thing. Even if she breaks a plate by accident, I get off at her. If he yells too loud, I get after them. If he touches one of my things that are not supposed to be touched, then I get after them. I mean, it's anything. I don't know how to say it. It's just anything that I don't think that they should be doing that they do. I get after them.
Okay. And ideally, how would you like to react in those situations? What is your idea of the right way, or not necessarily the right way, but just a better way to react?
One where it doesn't involve me yelling, and one where it involves them listening to me.
Okay, so you want to reduce how often you're yelling at them, but you also want them to still hear what you say. And what are ways that you think could help remedy that?
I don't know. Do you have any ideas? Like, do you have suggestions or anything that might help? Anything that I can do to, I don't know, maybe put myself at ease before I do anything?
Well, well, for starters, some people would like to count backwards from 10. Doesn't always mean that it's going to work for everybody, but in the past, have you ever encountered a situation that got you upset, but you were able to hold yourself back from?
My significant other is the thing that holds me back a lot.
And how does her role hold you back from becoming angry?
She takes the major blunt of it, but she tells me to calm down. And even though I try to tell her the situation, and it feels like she doesn't listen, she keeps telling me to calm down, and just I listen to her, but just if I just I yell at her.
Okay, and in situations where you're able to calm down, besides your significant other, what are other ways that you've used to calm yourself down, whether at home, in the workplace?
I would usually get away, have my moment of zen, so
Okay,
to say.
so what do you do when you get away, when you pull yourself from these situations?
I draw. I have a creative output to where I can draw, and I can draw for days on end. But it doesn't help when you have kids who are at each other's throats and constantly need your attention, and it breaks that zen moment, in which it causes me to do another outburst, and there's not really a whole lot of things that I do after that I know of, that puts me in a place where I can calm down.
Okay, so you have a more creative output in expressing your anger, or is that a way that you express your feelings? Is using your creative methods?
Yeah.
Okay, and you say that you draw, and is there any other type of creative outlet that you use?
I used to work out. That would calm me down.
Okay, and what prevents you from working out now?
Um, well, the significant other needs assistance with helping watch the kids.
Okay, so right now you're in a situation where you become angry very easily. It sounds like just little things are triggering you. Does it feel like it's a buildup from several things and then you get upset, or is it just every single time that something doesn't seem right, you get upset?
Um, I think it's more like a buildup that doesn't let off, to where it
Hmm.
becomes like a series of me exploding. But I don't think, like, if I have like a totally relaxed day and I see something that stresses me out, I don't go off as easy or as hard. Excuse me, as hard. But if it was just something that hasn't been dealt with, hasn't been dealt with, hasn't been dealt with, and I end up dealing it, then it's just consistent for days.
Okay. So it sounds like rather than letting it just build up, it's better to release it through either your creative methods or through working out. What would you do ideally in a normal day? What would that look like for you?
What would I do in a normal day? I mean, ideally, I would like to just have an enjoyable day at work where it's not too stressful, which
Hmm.
thankfully that's beginning to be a thing, and come home to the kids. I mean, mess is okay as long as they're playing and clean up after themselves, but not where they're getting after each other's throats for every single thing. And at least having my significant other not get after me for every little bit of anything that happens in the house.
Hmm.
And because I'm here, I'm trying to relax myself while watching the kids, but yet she gets in there and then she needs help. I understand she needs help, but it's just I guess the manner how it's brought to me that makes me feel like it's more like nagging.
Hmm. I see. So ideally, how would you see yourself working with your significant other to kind of create the home that you would like?
I don't know because right now she's like I said, she's doing her curriculums to put herself forward, and it's kind of hard for me to address that because she's. It's not like she's lollygagging around and doing stuff. She's doing it for not only her own benefit but for us,
Okay.
and it would make me feel very selfish.
Or what type of methods do you think would work for you? Have you that you've either seen relatives use or that you've probably heard of on TV that could help you manage your
I
home?
don't know. I mean, I just need things to. I don't know. Keep like you said, count to 10. I never done that before.
Okay. And what are other ways that you think that you could get what you would like done? It seems like using a creative outlet. You've mentioned your creativity a few times.
I don't know. Maybe get the kids to be involved too.
Hmm. So how would you get them involved? What would that look like?
Probably have them do drawing time or story time and have them draw out a story for me. Little man likes to draw in detail happy spiders and McDonald's, and he would tell me little stories that go with it.
And does that relax you? Because you just really brightened up when you mentioned his drawings.
Yeah, it does.
Right. So something that you could do moving forward is, as you mentioned, being creative with your kids, and just seeing the way you really lit up. That seems to put you at ease. Whereas when you first came in, you seemed really agitated. Um, so we're just about ready to end our session. Just to recap everything, you mentioned that lately you've noticed that you're getting more angry. You have a short temper. It seems like it's just a buildup from various things, and then you start letting out your emotions, and it's just repeated where you're getting upset and angry with your family, and you want to be able to adjust yourself and kind of hold back from the yelling. And something that we talked about is that you have a creative outlet that you normally would use, and perhaps getting your children involved in working with you. That way, you're still letting out your you're relaxing, you're getting that relaxation, but you're also getting your family involved. And that seems to be something very important to you is your family.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So going forward, that's something that we could try, is seeing how it works, getting the kids involved and being creative and doing drawings together.
That sounds like I should be investing more time in getting them to draw with me.
All right. Do you have any other questions or concerns?
Oh, I don't.
Great. Thank you.